Very special occasion for us, and with the members of the CSC team and the wider team. There are a lot of people here who are part of various aspects of our organization, and it's wonderful to come together to mark the retirement of Alison Caird and celebrate her many contributions that she's made, not only to CSC but to the suicide prevention community and far more broadly throughout her career. In fact, you could really say, I think, that Alison's career has been devoted, her mission has been to make the world a better place. And so we're very happy to celebrate those achievements. She's also an author whose book, Measuring the Impact of Volunteers, A Balanced and Strategic Approach, won the 2016 Terry McAdam Book Award. That must have been a fun moment. And Alison's work has been acknowledged several times with awards, best practice designations in the areas of leadership, strategic planning, standards, and service development. But Alison is much more than her work and her career accomplishments. She's a mother, a wife, friend, a natural leader, and a mentor. Being a relative newcomer to the organization, I've only had the pleasure of knowing Alison really since October, but it didn't take long for me to recognize her leadership strength and to see her act with courage and conviction. And I know that when I first started, there was a lot of information coming at me, and I was talking to Alison one day and must have heard it in my voice. She said, "Where's that fierce fighter? Come on, let's go." And I thought, yeah, let's go. And I she picked me right. She has that gift. She just picked me right back up, and she's done that for so many of us. Our mission's a demanding one, and we've faced many challenges. All of you know about them, and it's been it's been the best of times and the worst of times, but it was clear from the first time I met Alison at the strategic planning retreat that her determination and commitment to the mission were always going to be big factors in our ability to move forward. And that truly has been the case. My respect and admiration for her leadership was immediate. When Alison announced that she would be retiring, the board and staff felt strongly that we needed to do something to mark the contribution of someone who's been so pivotal in our development. And so we decided that the best thing we could do was to recognize in others the qualities and accomplishments that we've seen in Alison. There seemed to be no more fitting way to say that than to create an award that would celebrate leadership and excellence. And that's how the National CSC Alison Caird Award for Distress Center Excellence was created. The award will recognize one person each year who's made an outstanding contribution to Canada's Distress Center movement. And of course, no one could be more deserving to be the inaugural recipient than Alison herself. Alison, we will now present your award. If you want, or we can come to you. We have all the stuff here.
That's beautiful.
Ladies, do you want to come for the photo? Here we go. So we have
It's gorgeous.
we were told that blue is one of your favorite colors, and we incorporated that. So that's the actual award, and then here is the certificate.
Thank you so much.
The inaugural
Thank you very,
recipient.
very much.
I don't know what to say.
I really don't know what to say.
You can say everything or nothing.
It's beautiful. It's been a team trying to get this service off the ground, and there were times, I think, when everybody wanted to quit at some point during the process, but we all sort of rallied and kept going, and look at us now. You can't stop us, right? So we're going to have this wonderful national service, and this is a huge honor. I'm not sure I deserve it, but
You do.
But thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I'll take that. We'll put it here for you. Okay. So I'd like to call on someone who's had a long-standing involvement with CSC in many roles, many of them from the time she was a member and a leader of the Canadian Distress Line Network to an executive role and now the president of the board of directors as of Monday. Please welcome Karen Latovsky.
Thank you, Alison. It's an honor to be stepping into your shoes. They're big shoes to fill. I don't know exactly what size there, but I know that they've left a deep imprint. I have to say, I've worked with you, I've worked for you, and to find the words to express my admiration. A lot, there are no words really. A lot of what we're celebrating today are your accomplishments, but I think when we talk about leadership, we don't necessarily focus on cheerleading, tenacity, confidence, and just good old common sense. And I can think of many times in our working together when I hit a wall or I struggled with something, that good old common sense and fellowship that you provided to help me through those patches are immeasurable and not to be forgotten. Just to say a few words about Alison, she's dedicated her career, as you've heard, to the not-for-profit and public sectors. She began as a literacy coordinator. I think there's a lot about Alison that we didn't know that I learned actually. So I was glad to hear about your work with the Public Library and Children's Aid Society of Toronto. I know that you moved on then to volunteer management with the University of Health Network. And in 2009, you became executive director of SERVE, a charity that worked with youth from priority neighborhoods in Toronto. In 2013, you were hired as executive director of Spectra Helpline, but really your job was to bring together a merger and to actually operationalize it and implement it. And if there's ever a testament to courage, it's not only to go through that once, but to go through that again. I think, so, one might argue that's like a blind spot, but I think it demonstrates your toughness and determination and your vision. In the spring of 2017, Alison became the executive director of the Distress Centres of Toronto, and that was just around the time that CSC was being developed. As you all know, the Toronto Distress Centres is a pivotal service partner in CSC, and as it's really the largest partner with respect to its capacity. And so not only were you there from the beginning, helping to deliver the service, but also leading the organizational development in your role as board president. I think for me, the most moving and meaningful moment, though, came when you helped save our ass by really reallocating your resources, your tech resources from ONTX to CSC, and allowed us to breathe some life, a renewed life into our organization that was struggling to reset. Anyone who has ever led any change movement or the launch of a new initiative will fully appreciate the skills and the qualities that are necessary to ensure that success. So all I can say is I celebrate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Next up is Susan Deneen, who as of Monday is now the Vice President of the CSC board when she's not running her consultancy, which is Legacy Next Strategies. This is the microphone for recording, just so you know.
Hi, Alison. So when I think about you, I'm reminded of the words of Albert Einstein.
I do not have his
And he said, we can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. And I think that typifies you. You helped us to think in new ways. So some of the qualities that you brought to your work and to CSC and to where we are today is your vision and courage to dream big, and your tenacity to keep going despite unexpected and really significant obstacles. And you know what they are. we all know what they are because they kept us up at night. This resilience of spirit is coupled with kindness, creativity, professionalism, and a passion for excellence. Alison, I've heard it said that the first ingredient of success is to dream a great dream. Thank you for helping us along the path of our dream for CSC, and to think differently and to dream big. We love you.
Thank you, Susan. I think you all know Roberta Fox, the head of Fox Group Technologies, as well as the mastermind behind CSE's own virtual call center technology platform. Roberta and Alison worked side by side in the trenches as CSC and CSPS took shape. So I'd like to ask Roberta to say a few words.
Some of you know me as a crazy dreamer. Well, I met another one. So 6 years ago, 6 years, yes, I figured it out. She said, oh, could you just give us a few hours of your time to volunteer, of course, no paid, to help Spectre. Just got some tech issues that are really preventing things to happen. Well, you know, it's, little did I know that it would totally professionally and personally affect and change the impact of my life. It's been really interesting. I'm used to solving complex tech problems. I've done hundreds of solutions. I have never had the opportunity to be a part of a group like the CDLN members, Karen and Liz Newcomb and others that had this dream, and Alison said, and all of them, no call goes unanswered, whether it's whatever people, however they want to communicate. That's okay. But then they said, but these are lives, these are people. So I went, okay. So together, this crazy lady and I, she signed papers. She incorporated. We had 11 tech vendors, 11 different companies, 143 tech experts, and we bored my mind into her mind and her mind into mine. We had over 1,000 dedicated professionals and volunteers to make this happen in 6 months, under budget, and live. So there's nothing like this has ever been created in the world, right? So just so you know, this is the first solution in the world of its type that brings together the clinical data with the multimedia contact center so that the experts, the people here that help save the lives, have the information. Nobody in the world has done it. We did it in Canada. Yay! And my last points, it's also, she said, I want it beyond suicide. I want it to help mental health. I want it to help distress centers. So this is my little commercial for the future. This is a foundation that can be used to totally change and reduce the cost of health care and mental health and leverage the Canadian expertise of the professionals, of the people that serve it. So it's a foundation for the future that transforms how we support the people of Canada. And I'm so proud to have been beside you on this journey. Yay!
Thank you, Roberta. We have, in addition to the people in the room, and I just wanted to recognize the headquarters staff who are here. Paul Yu, who's in the front row because he's going to have to press buttons. Kate June, who does everything. We've decided that she basically does everything, and Matthew Little, who keeps our books in order, which is important, let me tell you. We have some participants who are on the line. They're participating virtually, as we do with so much of our organization. We have our meetings and decide things and beat ideas around through technology, through virtual means. So we have on the line Marco Corbet, who's our account manager from Rogers. We have Scott Bissessar, who joined the board on Monday.
Will now be recorded.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're in recording. We also have, I have a message from Kelly Mitchell. He said he sends his sincere regrets that he couldn't be there, and he asked me to congratulate you And he said the reason he's not here is because he's badgering the Minister of Finance for Ontario to get us some service delivery money. He thought you'd approve. So we're going to ask our virtual participants to perhaps say a few words, and I think we'll start west to east. And so Liz Newcomb from the Vancouver Island Crisis Society, if you can take the floor, please.
Member of the CSC team to advance awareness of distress center work. My heartfelt appreciation to you, Alison, and I hope you're feeling all the love in the room and virtually for you today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Liz. Staying in BC, I'm going to ask Jason Chard, the National Director of Clinical Operations for CSC, to chime in. Please, Jason.
Thanks, Stephanie. Well, we were told to keep it nice and short and sweet, so I think what I really just want to say to Alison is just a huge thank you. You know, Roberta and myself and a few of us have been involved with this CSPS project since it was developed and launched, and I think it's fair to say that we've had a few challenges along the road, as well as some successes to enjoy. But I would certainly note that to have access just to Alison's skills and knowledge, experience, you know, you really bring a calm level-headedness to some of those challenging times. And I think it's fair to say that really you've left just a really profound and permanent impact on CSPS. And as someone who's been in the trenches since those early days, we just want to extend a huge, huge thank you to you. Thank you, Alison.
Thank you, Jason. We're still in BC with Karen Vandersloos, who is our National Training and Best Practices Manager for CSC, and she's in Nanaimo.
Hi, everybody. It's nice that we can do this. This shows our virtual capabilities, that we can have that opportunity to be with you in the same room in Toronto, while here we are so far away. And I think that's one of the things that we've been able to figure out and do together. Alison, I think, while I haven't always worked as closely with you as Liz on the board or even Jason from the director, I think it was what Karen Latosky brought up. It was for me when you determinedly brought those on-text responders, all those people from text and chat in Ontario, and brought them over, and that just showed your commitment, your passion, and your vision for what you were doing. And as the person who is seeing, that's my job, I'm seeing the people who we're not getting to, I think almost every day I'm looking and I'm ecstatic, and I don't know that we would not be here without that. So I just wanted you to know that that one piece has just made such a significant difference to so many people out there, and I see that every day. So, thank you.
Hi, Alison. I wanted to take this opportunity to congratulate you on all of the amazing accomplishments that you have experienced as Executive Director for Spectra and then Distress Centres of Toronto. I want to thank you for your leadership throughout the entire launch of CSPS and Crisis Services Canada. I learned so much from you and your leadership during that time. We made it through quite a lot together and achieved quite a lot together. I'm really proud to say that I've worked with you and we've accomplished things together. I want to wish you the best as you move forward. I want to wish you all the luck in the world as you move forward in this fight for your life. Alison, just really wanted to let you know that I'm thinking about you today, and that it's been such an honor